Hello, I'm Haley and this is Taya, and welcome to Haley and Taya Rip Up Supernatural and Start Over, and also sometimes talk about other stuff, a podcast.
Also known as HATRUSA, and this week we're talking about Season 2, Episode 4, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. It originally aired on October 19th, 2006, and was written by Rael Tucker.
Wow.
Thanks, Rael.
Thanks, Rael. Also, we are recording this on International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day.
Supernatural hates you.
Supernatural hates you, and this is such a funny show to watch on International Women's Day.
It really is.
So,
Woo!
I was literally...
At least one survived this time.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I was about to jump right into my notes, so this is gonna be fun.
Ooh. Wow.
So,
that's not the order.
Nope, it's not the order. So the summary. A girl is seemingly upset being comforted by a boy over a breakup, question mark? He says something about not deserving her. I don't know. And then another boy shows up. Oh no, it's the ex-boyfriend or boyfriend who they're fighting with. And the girl runs, and she's crying, and he calls her on the phone, and now she gets in a car crash. She dies. Oh no. Flash to Dean and Sam, who are driving to their mother's grave to bury John's dog tags there. And Dean won't go near it, but he finds another grave that seems fresh, and oh no, there's a whole circle of dead grass around it. That's so strange. Dean's like, Sam, there's something going on. And Sam's like, are you sure this is about a hunt? And Dean's like, yes, I'm fucking sure, leave me alone. They find out who it is. She died a week ago. Dean's like, this is unholy ground. They go to her father. He's a professor of ancient Greek language at a university. He's sad. They go to her roommate. She's sad. Dean pretends to be a grief counselor. Something else happens, and then the bad ex-boyfriend dies. What? That's crazy.
That's insane.
Insane. So then Dean and Sam they're like, okay, well, maybe it's a vengeful spirit. Let's go burn her bones. And Sam's like, it's not going to be a fucking bones, Dean. She died a week ago. That's gross. They go, the casket's empty, but there's some etchings on the inside of the top of the lid. Ooh, spooky. What is that? Oh, it looks like ancient Greek. So they go and confront the father, and the father's like, what are you talking? Why are you doing this to me? And Dean's like, I know you did it. I know what you did. That's not your daughter anymore.
Should stay dead.
That should be in the ground. And then,
that's a good impression.
Thank you. It's obviously not him, and they find out that it's the boy who was comforting the dead girl in the beginning. And
Neil.
Oh yeah, Neil. That's his name. Neil. Oh, he brought her back because he was in love with her the whole time. Hijinks ensue. She tries to kill her a roommate because she was being cheated on. Her boyfriend was cheating on her with her best friend / roommate.
Yes.
There we go.
We got there.
We got there. So the dead girl, whose name is Angela, tries to kill the roommate, whose name is Lindsay. And then she doesn't because Sam and Dean stop her.
Sam and Dean show up.
They show up and shoot her out of there. And then they go to Neil's house, and something happens. They tell him to do something, and he's like, and he's sketchy, but then he goes to do it, and Angela catches on that he's thinking about leaving her, so she snaps his neck, goes to the graveyard. Dean and Sam kill her. Everything seems to be over, but just kidding, because as we see the Impala drive-away shot, there's still 3 minutes left in the fucking episode, and we were like, what? And then Dean and Sam have a soft, sad moment about Dean being riddled with survivor's guilt, and the episode ends.
Yeah, so real quick, when Sam and Dean go to Neil's office after Lindsay almost dies, basically they're like, where is she? We know you did it. And he's like, she's at my house. And Dean looks at the plants that are all dead and is like, no, she's here. And then basically tells him to get out as quickly as possible and no sudden movements, and to show up at the graveyard for some dumb ritual of things he made up. And Angela comes out and is like, let's go to the cemetery together and kill them so we can be happy together. And he's like, I'll go get the car, and runs to the car. And she's like, she shows up like right behind him and is like, you were going to leave me. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, no. And she snaps his neck.
Yes.
So,
Okay. Thank you.
mm-hmm.
I did miss that.
Nah, no worries.
So now that that's done and over with, if you can tell, I think this is very interesting. When I'm actually intrigued by an episode, I can do the plot pretty good.
Hot take.
Hot take, if an episode is good, you remember it better. What? That's crazy.
Or even like just interesting.
Yeah, not good. Sorry, I should never call an episode of Supernatural good unless it's The French Mistake,
Mm-hmm.
Mystery Spot,
Mm-hmm.
or there's a third one, I think. Anyway, my notes.
The one that's the changing channels one, I think.
Yes!
Is the other one you're thinking of.
Yes. Yes. I have genital herpes. Good episode. My first note is Happy International Women's Day. How misogynistic will we be today? The
Very.
answer was it was very, but surprisingly not as much as we thought.
That's true. Some episodes.
My next one is love the M&M bag on the table. In the beginning, when Angela was being comforted by Neil, there was like a drink and a bag of M&Ms on the table. Like that's how he was comforting her, and it was
a beer.
funny.
He had like a beer and M&Ms.
Yeah.
And he was like, "This is it. This is it."
And I'm pretty sure they might have been peanut M&Ms. Don't quote me on it, but I remember the bag being like yellow, which means peanut M&Ms. My next note is PSA. Don't use your phone while driving. That's a kind of a no-brainer. It's a law in most states. Don't use your phone while you're driving, especially while you're driving having a complete mental breakdown. That's not good. That's going to impact your vision and your thinking brain. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
You're going to be distracted.
Blood budget.
Blood budget.
Sammy's hair looks jacked. In the first scene he's in, it was not it.
It looked really weird.
Then I have
The
Sam.
styling was off.
Yeah, it was off. Sam crying at his mother's grave moment. Specifically, as he's burying the dog tags. Hi, Buddy. Buddy came over, even though I thought he would stay on the couch.
Oh, hi, Buddy.
Hi, Buddy. Ow! He's on my shoulder. Okay. As he's burying the dog tags, he, like, a single tear rolls down his cheek, and he goes, "I love you, Mom." And I was like, okay, you didn't even know her, but whatever. Dean knocked on the tree and then okay. So this note is kind of split between two notes because I was writing my note and then I was clarified. At first, I was going to write Dean knocked on the tree and everything disappeared because that leads into my next note, which says, okay, that was confusing the way it was shot. It's shot in such a way there that he knocks on this dead tree and then, like, it pans up and he's just standing in the circle of dead grass. And I thought he was, like, transported to a different, like, world.
We were so confused.
It was very confusing. I swear to God the tree was no longer in the shot, but I don't remember. But love Dean and... Oh, here's my one. Love Dean in this short sleeve blue button up. It's doing it for me. Mm-hmm. Then I have Cedar Rapids mention. I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids. Hillary Clinton, 2016. Throwback.
Great.
Okay, so this dad lost his kid and studies Greek, and did he summon her? That's my note. I took that.
I immediately said no.
But that was before.
Immediately shot that one down.
That was before we saw it in the grave. I was making a prediction, which did get shot down, but that was my prediction. Then I have the note that says, it's a quote from Dean, not exactly verbatim, I don't think, where he was like, maybe she isn't Daddy's little angel. And I said, Dean, her name is Angela, which is long for angel. So, anyway, Sam thinks this is about their dead mother, because throughout the whole episode, Sam's like, you didn't want to go near Mom's grave. I think this is about Mom. Turns out it wasn't it wasn't about Mom, actually. It was about Dean. But that's fine.
And Dad,
but mostly Dean.
It can be about all of them, actually.
Yeah. Then I have the note, Dean doesn't need this crap, which is, he said, I don't need this crap. And I said, Dean doesn't need this crap. Then my next note is, oh my God, Jared Kiso? For those of you who might know or might not know, Jared Keeso is a Canadian actor. He's best known for his lead role as, oh my god, why do I forget his Wayne in Letterkenny. And I think he's also like the director for the show or something. But I saw him and he has a very distinct face. So I was like, oh my god, who is this? And then it was Jared Keeso, and I was like, oh my god, so obvious. My next note
That
after that.
actually.
Oh, what?
Wait, pause. That actually makes sense because, like, I found out from the errors section that this is shot in British Columbia.
Yeah.
Because Angela's a cell network.
Yes.
Canadian network.
So funny.
So funny.
Well, most of the show is shot in Canada.
I didn't know that. You think I look up where this show is shot?
I've known that since like 2011.
I haven't.
Taya,
Why would I know that?
Taya, aren't Jared
Why would I know that?
Padalecki and Jensen Ackles both Canadian?
I don't know. I don't know anything about them.
I'm fairly certain they are. Anyway, my next note after that is, oh, Jared Keeso is dead. Because literally as I was, like, discovering that it was Jared Keeso, he got his throat slit. And I was like, oh, well. My next note after that is something that I would like to bring up that I think I might have touched on briefly in the last episode, but I don't remember if I talked about it. And it is the Ghost Whisperer to Criminal Minds to Supernatural pipeline. I'd like to talk about it briefly.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Ghost Whisperer is one of my favorite shows in the entire world. It's terrible. I think I've mentioned it on pod before, and I'll mention it 1,000 times after. It's such a mess of a show, and I love it. It's a soap opera. Criminal Minds is another one of my favorite shows, and recently I've been I say slowly, but I think we've gotten through 6 seasons in the last 2 months, so that's not slowly.
Damn.
Yeah, we're
faster than us.
Yeah, we're insane. We just watch it in the background mostly, but Mace and I have been watching it, and we'll be watching an episode, and all of a sudden we realize I'll be like, hey, this actor looks familiar. Who is this? Why do I know this face? So we go on IMDb, and usually I find out that they were on Ghost Whisperer or Supernatural, or
both.
Sometimes both, chronologically. So usually they've been on Ghost Whisperer, and then they're on Criminal Minds, and then they go on to be on Supernatural, and it's so fucking funny because they all came out like around the same. Like, I'm fairly certain they all came out in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just double check that. Let me fact check myself. Check myself. Yeah. So Ghost Whisperer was September 2005. Criminal Minds was September 2005, and Supernatural was September 2005. Whoa.
Wow, that's so funny.
Whoa.
All these shows that are cornerstones of Haley's personality.
They all came out within a week of each other. What the hell?
That's so funny.
Literally, so Ghost Whisperer is 9/23/2005. Criminal Minds is the 9/22/05. And Supernatural is September 13th, 05. So technically, Supernatural is the oldest one. And then Ghost Whisperer, and then Criminal Minds.
Dang.
No, Supernatural, Criminal Minds, and then Ghost Whisperer, which is so funny because I got into them not in that order, but anyway, the pipeline. They've all came out within 10 days of each other, and these actors just like pop up on all of the shows, and usually it's just in one role. They're minor roles, but I always remember them. And it's just so fun to see these cornerstones come together in this awful little pipeline. I love it so much. It's so fun. It's just for me, you know? Anyway.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
It's so thrilling. I love to see it. My next note is flyer for rentable porn on top of the TV. So funny. That's in the motel room. Which, oh, sorry, I forgot, I left out a point. Sam was watching porn in the motel room, just sitting there watching porn, apparently. And when Dean walks in, he shuts it off. I didn't catch that. I read it on the Wikipedia page. But, yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway, Dean stole a dead girl's diary. Called it her bestest friend in the whole wide world. I also forgot about that. That was one of the big parts of it. It was after he went to her apartment or her dorm or whatever.
Oops.
and stole her diary. And that's how they found out that
He
she
also
was in a
talked to
relationship. And talked to
he
Lindsay.
he and he
Yeah.
was like, "Huh, she was really upset that Matt died.
Yeah.
They must have been sleeping together."
Yeah. So, note, men are trash.
Men are
Next
trash.
note, a ripe, rotting body. Ew. Because that's how Sam describes it when Dean is like, let's dig up her bones. And Sam's like, there's
The
Dean,
bones.
Dean, bones? There's not
The
gonna be bones!
bones.
Bone. So just describing a body as ripe and rotting, no, bad. My next one is I love when Sam does the eyebrow thing. I've described it horribly, but it's whenever he makes a facial expression where he like lifts his brows in some way or
He's
relaxes
like
them,
surprised.
and you watch like his hairline recede and then go forward. And
Yeah.
it's so funny. I love it. Dean has mommy and daddy issues.
And then
Taya
I
said,
said he has all the issues. Every
yes.
issue.
Then Sam said the line, and now I'm gonna lose you too. And I said, stop. Stop. That, you can't do that. You can't do that. I don't like that. My next note is that we like, so both of us, we found, they made Angela look paler because she is a zombie heart. And we liked that because there was some effort put in to the fact that she was no longer alive, but she was there. And we like to see that. Those are details we enjoy. Next note is The Walking Dead. Then I have Silver kills zombies. Bitch, since when? If you know anything about me, it's that I like zombies. I like zombies in many
Yes.
forms. Never have I ever heard that Silver kills or harms zombies. Only that shooting them through the head or smashing their brains somehow hurts them. Like, Silver? They aren't werewolves, guys. Anyway.
And then they tie it to vampires, and it's like,
yeah.
I guess they're technically both undead, but like, not really the same.
Right. So, I don't know what's going on there, but whatever. Then I have Dean Keith being called an ass in this episode. Very funny. It's like, it's either just like ass or dumbass or smart ass. Very good. I think
he's just
Dean,
kind of a dick because he's going through it.
Yeah, Dean should always be called an ass.
But yeah.
Next note is Dean is not to be trusted with a gun. Fool. He's shooting at Angela while Lindsay is like right in front of her. Yeah, so he's
behind her.
No, in front of her. He's shooting her back. Oh wait, yeah. Yes, you're right. Sorry. Angela is facing Lindsay, and Dean is shooting Angela's back.
He's shooting her in the back, and it's like they are close enough. They are just in a doorway. They are close enough that I think it's possible that, first of all, he could miss.
Right.
He could just miss. But I think the bullet could potentially go through her.
Correct.
If hit the wrong spot.
So, like, Dean, maybe your gun license should... Well, you know what? That man does not have a gun license. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think he has one? Think Dean fucking Winchester has license to carry?
I don't. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't.
If anything, it's faked. Like, there's no way it's real if he has one.
Yeah. My next note is Dean does not support necrophilia. We know a few things about Dean Winchester by this point in season 2, and now one of them, canonically, is that he does not support nor condone nor would he ever engage in necrophilia, which is
Thanks for letting us know.
Which is a great point, great character trait.
Good thing to know.
To know about him.
We were all so curious.
We just needed to know. We needed to make sure, and Dean does have the morals enough to know that necrophilia is inherently wrong. Very cool. We got 2 dead men. Happy National Women's Day. Truly. You know what? Maybe I'll get hate for that one. That's fine. We were really hoping that Neil would die because he was like a fucking slug. And then he did. So that was very exciting. Yeah. He has neck snapped.
Bring back a dead girl to like kiss her? That's weird.
That's fucking weird. Like, that's weird. Then we have a midriff fan service moment. Sam like lifts his shirt a little to take his gun out of his belt, and like it's like a solid 2 inches of his midriff, and you're just like, what is this? What is this here for? What is this here for but to show Sam fangirls some skin? Then I've written, Sam, maybe hold back on the gun because Angela tries to talk to him, and we have a nice tie back to the last episode, to Bloodlust, with them saying, well, what really makes a monster and not human if they are like at their core human? Because Angela tries to be like please listen to me, like
I didn't want to come back.
I didn't want to come back. I might have been brought back, but I'm still me. And Sam just fucking shoots her in the head. And like I get it. I do. That's their job, but also maybe
she killed a few people.
Yeah, but like maybe we could have done this peacefully, but you shooting her made her angry and made her like attack you. We could have gotten through that without an attack probably. But whatever.
Maybe. She seemed pretty bent on killing that, but like Sam did give it a shot.
Exactly.
So
oh, he gave it a shot all right, Taya.
Okay.
To her forehead.
Shut up.
What's dead should stay dead. Dean line fucking ironic. I wrote this before the end scene happened, but it's such an ironic line because not only was Dean literally brought back from the dead, but he will be brought back from the dead multiple times. He will bring Sam back from the dead. He will bring his father and mother and friends and family back from the dead a number of times within the next 13 years of television. Dean meltdown time. We have a full circle car safety because Dean pulls over at the end of the episode when he is about to have a little breakdown. He pulls over on the side of the road, albeit he pulls over very weird and like a fucking bozo. Because it looks like he was on a highway. It was an empty highway, but it was a highway of sorts, and he just like pulls across the other lane to pull like. What are you doing? But he does pull over.
Can't do that.
So that he can have his moment and take a deep breath and talk to Sam about his emotions. That's good car safety. Whether he's
good car safety.
Whether or not he's a good driver is not part of the question. That's not what I'm saying. But good car safety.
Yeah, true.
My next note is when your eyes are so pretty, they look like marbles in the sun. I thought that was just a very funny line that I said, but in the last scene, when they're having their talk, both Sam and Dean are illuminated by the lighting in such a way that their eyes look so crystally.
Yeah.
But it's not too bright, and it's not, like, excessively bright. It's just the right amount of bright that makes their eyes just look like little marbles. And my last note, I took a lot of notes today.
Oh, yes, you did.
This is the most notes I think I've taken since, like, this is the most notes I've taken this season. And this is the most notes...
that's for sure. This has been a shit season.
I'm flipping through my pages right now. This is the most notes I've taken since episode 17 of season 1.
Maybe you're just really feeling it.
Maybe I'm just really feeling it. But, yeah, so he feels this terrible survivor's guilt in the worst way, because it's not like I survived and Dad didn't. It's I didn't survive. Dad did, and Dad brought me back and died. And I shouldn't be alive right now, but I am. What do I do about it?
And Sam's like, I don't know, and they sit in silence.
It is, I think, a very powerful moment. If you take it away from the fact that it's supernatural and take away the fact that the writing is so bad, if you put that into our show, not supernatural.
Good name.
Yeah, thank you. That would be such a powerful moment.
It would. That's the thing. It would be such a powerful moment, except we know that, like, the show never really lets Dean, like, super explore his emotions.
Yeah. But seeing Dean Winchester cry was pretty solid. Emotionally constipated men crying is, that's my shit. Man pain? All right. So that's all I've got.
Honestly, I don't have much for notes. It's a zombie episode, but there's only one zombie, and it's a weird zombie wherein she's not like a gross zombie. She's very much still like got all of her like she can still talk. She still looks like herself. She isn't like just like trying to eat people. Like that's not even a thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's this show kind of says zombie as anything that is dead and brought back to life, opposed to just like what we typically think of as a zombie. So, like, I'm pretty sure that there are zombies later that are more like Walking Dead zombies.
Right.
But this one is like, she was dead and now she isn't. And we're going to kill her by just, like, stabbing her to her coffin.
Yeah.
Like, they trip her into the coffin, essentially.
And she lands, like,
and then
perfectly
just
normal, and it's like, okay.
And then just stab her so she's stuck, and then she's dead. And it was kind of weird because it felt like she should have come back, and there's no, like, it shouldn't have worked or something, but it does. And you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I had never heard silver for zombies before. I'd
Literally
heard it
never.
for werewolves. And I think I've heard it for vampires too.
Yeah.
Which I guess is, Dean does tie this, like I said, he ties this to vampires. And I guess if we're thinking this is more of just like an undead being versus a zombie, then yes.
Right, because
sure.
especially this, it might be this specific zombie because it's something about the ancient Greek, like, that was written. It was like a very specific to a necromancy like ritual. So like maybe I think the true reason was because they don't really know that it's not just a zombie. It's like this very specific type of necromancy magic zombie.
Well, there's gonna be zombies in other seasons that are different,
right?
You know. So I think it's just like, because Sam even says like there's too much lore, and that's fair.
Yeah.
And since Supernatural doesn't have its own lore so much as it just takes from everyone else's,
correct,
it's fine. It just feels a little, because I don't know if we ever see a zombie like this again.
I don't.
So it just feels a little bit weird, but I don't care that much about it. I'm like, it's fine, you know? It's fine.
Yeah. It happened.
It happened. It's fine.
So,
I don't know.
Crack shipping. I will continue with this fucking thing until the day I die.
I feel like there are definitely episodes where this is good, but
yeah, it's like in the later seasons.
You know what you're gonna say, and it's just like,
It's Angela and Lindsay.
Yeah.
They're girls, and why would you pit women against each other if they could kiss instead?
It's very funny because we did make, when you were messing up earlier about who was cheating on who, I was thinking about that, and also because when Angela tries to kill Lindsay, she says, "Hey, I'm home," and I was just like,
yeah, there's literally an "I love
honey.
Lucy," yeah.
Yeah, it was like, okay.
She like comes in the house and she goes, "Hi, Lindsay, I'm home." So yeah,
it's not great.
No,
she does kill her.
She does,
but nothing is good here. None of the options are good.
Right. But you know, if things had panned out differently, which they didn't, and they won't because she's dead.
Yeah, which they did not.
Anyway, brought to you by. There was only one song today. Taya, want to go nuts for it?
Sure. Hold on, I can't find it. One sec. I'm scrolling. I got lost in this page. Oh, you know why I'm lost?
Taya got lost in the sauce.
I'm lost on the zombie page. I'm not even on the right page anymore.
When Taya gets lost in the zombie sauce.
God. This week's brought to you by is Sad Girl by Supergrass.
Which is
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day. Cry a little bit about it. I don't know. Shout out to today when I was out in public, shout out to the actual woman who said, "Everybody keeps saying Happy Women's Day today. Isn't that weird?" Girl. Miss Thing. Ma'am. Anyway. Fave Wiki. Mine is, hold on. What I have written to remind myself of what it is on the Wikipedia page is I wrote "The Dead Tree Returns." It is under
it's
trivia.
in trivia.
Yes. So,
yep. I was thinking about that one.
Ahem. The crew of Supernatural inherited the dead tree seen in the cemetery in Season 2's episode Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things from the Exorcism of Emily Rose 2005 production. It's also the dead tree that played prominently in the Season 1 episode Scarecrow. I think it's
they got one dead tree.
They got one dead tree, and they were like, we gotta use this so much. And I really like the fact that it says the tree played prominently. Is the tree an actor? What's its name?
No, do you no, but do you remember Scarecrow? The whole point was they were in the tree. The eyes were brought over by the tree.
Yeah, I know.
Through the tree.
But
so it's like a thing, it's like alive.
It's so funny.
It doesn't get acting credits though. It's not part of the union.
I think we should name it.
What are we naming it? What if they already named it?
Oh my god.
We don't want to rename it.
Supernatural. If you were on episodes 4, season 2 of Supernatural, what did you name the tree?
What did you name the tree? Someone had to name the tree.
Let us know.
Tell us about the tree.
What's
Um,
yours?
So mine is actually connected to my favorite piece of trivia from the other week, and it's Jared broke his arm doing a stunt before the filming of this episode when he got bashed on the head with the with the with the phone in the last one and fell to the floor. He broke his arm. He had to go without a cast for the rest of filming for continuity's sake. Then his broken arm had to be written into several subsequent scripts. In the final cemetery scene, as Sam carries a shovel over his shoulder, he's actually using the shovel to keep his arm stable and immobile. This is also the episode where they break his arm, I'm pretty sure, because when Angela like tackles him at one point, I think he injures his arm. Ouch. Can we say ouch?
Can we give an F in the chat for Jared?
That feel like I assume that they asked and he agreed.
Right.
But that feels I'm sure he was wearing like a splint or like some sort of brace.
Because he had
feels
long
a little
on.
Illegal. It feels a little illegal.
Right, it feels a little wrong. Maybe
if they forced him into it would definitely be like very questionable. I'm sure it was just like, hey, can just for like the next 2 episodes, can you just wear a brace until we're done with those? But like, if you don't think about it like in those details, it's just like he wasn't allowed to wear a cast for his injury.
They told him
for this TV show.
Not allowed.
This bad TV show.
You will not take care of your injuries here. Become your character. It's called method acting. You think Sam gets medical attention? Balls up, Jared.
Why do they not have a doctor or nurse? Like, obviously it's still very hard to properly care for someone like with some of their injuries without like a very good medical setting. Once they're in the bunker, why do they not have just like an in-house nurse?
Yeah.
Or
hey
doctor?
Guys, if The Walking Dead can have like proper doctors in their like settlements, The Walking Dead, a post-apocalypse world, then you, Supernatural, can find a fucking hunter who's willing to be your doctor. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think part of the problem would just be like they move around a lot and the doctor probably wouldn't always be with them. But I feel like
shit. I think they're stupid.
I think they're dumb, and I feel like it would make sense for someone, first of all, for there to be people in the hunting business with medical licenses, but also like it seems like, at least it feels like, the Roadhouse is a hub and then the Men of Letters bunker is a hub. It feels like there should be medical professionals at those hubs at all times. And I'm pretty sure only like a few hunters know about the bunker, but a few hunters is a lot of hunters, like,
yeah,
in comparison. Like, just find a doctor, dude, who's like doesn't need a job right now, I guess. You know, I have a lot of questions and no answers.
We will never get answers.
No.
Do you want to know my rating?
Oh, rating, yes.
I voted this 5 Love Zombies out of 10. That's a whole 4 points up from the last episode. I liked it. It was intriguing. I was intrigued. It wasn't the best episode I've ever seen, but it was fun. I had fun. And Man Pain. Might bump it up to 6 for Dean's Tears.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, let's bump it up. I'm going to bump it up to 6 for Dean's Tears. So 5 Love Zombies out of 10 until that last 3 minutes. That gets a 6 out of 10 for Dean's Tears.
I see. So on IMDb, this is fine. This is rated an 8 out of 10, solid. Okay. And there are 2 reviews that I would like to read you real quick. The first one is rated a 7 out of 10, and it says, yeah, the lantern doesn't help. And what I like about this one is this one's more of like a literary look at it.
Right.
The emotional bookends of the episode, i.e. Dean's guilt around Dad's death, visiting Mom's grave, work and save the episode somewhat from the clunky writing. Likewise, the commonness of the relationship at the center of the monster story grounds the creepiness in believable reality. Unfortunately, the coincidence of stumbling upon a case, and a case that reflects Dean's struggle with grief, is too much to take. The script knows this and hangs a lantern on the coincidence. It is not enough as the plotting still feels contrived. I've never heard that phrase, like, hanging a lantern on it. Like, just,
I've also never heard that before.
Interesting. It's interesting to find, like, a review like that. on IMDb. However, this person hated this episode.
Oh no.
1 out of 10. The worst episode till now.
Whoa.
Not true. Demonstrably not true. And then this is the review. Aww, this is such a pity. Supernatural started as such a promising serial. Every episode with another horror story led by 2 solid characters with not too much flaws in personality.
What? They're
Then
literally full of
came.
flaws.
Despite their hunting history together, all of a sudden Sam stops trusting on Dean's hunter's instinct even though the proof of something going on is right in front of him. Dean suddenly starts to confront people that do not know what he is talking about. That's really strange because last season he was actually very good at knowing when someone was lying or not. This kind of mistakes really ruins it for me, and I'd like to see this characters in whom I invest a lot of time and grow, get stronger, get smarter, learn. Not to see them change into some empty puppets who just follow some poor script. For now, I will still keep watching this serial, but I am not really buying it anymore.
So, that just made me angry. As somebody who thinks that Supernatural has shitty fucking writing, that made me angry because there's a point in the fact that Dean is being so irrational, and there's a point in the fact that Sam doesn't trust him, and it's because Sam knows that he's mentally unwell right now, and Dean is being irrational because he's mentally unwell right now. Oh my god. You don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to see that. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see the very poorly written nuance to this episode. Who wrote this? How old were you when you wrote this?
You're so mad at this person.
Are you ashamed now?
Who wrote this? Who wrote this over 10 years ago? This was posted on February 9th, 2012.
I hope they're ashamed of themselves now.
Haley, I don't think they've thought about it since they posted it.
I think they should think about it more. I'm just saying.
All right. So, thank you so much for listening this week. We skipped last week because I messed up scheduling. That's on me, my bad. So please share, like, subscribe, comment, leave a review. Leave a review on iTunes, leave a review on Spotify, leave comments in our YouTube. By the way, for YouTube, I am very behind in uploading just because it takes 37 years to export a video, and I don't actually have a lot of time in my life where I can sit down and let my laptop run with very little else going on for several hours. So I will get back to uploading those, but if you want to be getting these as they come out, your best bet will be a streaming platform for podcasts. So check those out. Let us know if you would like us to try to get this hosted anywhere else, and share with anyone you would think would enjoy whatever this was. Can we get what?
Can we get hosted on Audible?
I don't think that's how that works.
I think Audible should hire us.
That would be so funny because I have explicitly said I will never do a sponsorship with Audible.
I don't want a sponsorship. I just want them to I
think them hiring us is similar.
No.
Someone hire us, though. We're really good at this. We're funny. We're entertaining. We clearly have a huge following.
We have a huge fucking following. We're how close to getting a patron? Like halfway or something.
Did we say 100 people?
I don't remember if we said 150.
I can't remember either. We're so good at this.
Well, anyway. Hey, Taya, I have a question for you.
Hey, Haley. What's up?
Question? Do you want to meet a sidekick kid?
Yes, I'm so tired.
Holy shit. I'm glad, because we're gonna...
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank God. Catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.